Hi Virgo, welcome to October. So this month I'm actually doing weekly readings. So you can look forward to new videos every Monday. And this deck that I'm using right here is the Tattoo Tarot. So let's get right into it. I'm gonna put those, I'm not gonna take those because those are too many cards. Alright, so you got a lot of cards that popped out actually. The first card that I'm looking at here is the Four of Cups as your overall energy. So you're definitely, I feel, at a point where like things, you're not settling. For me, the Four of Cards is always the bane of settling. Is the complete opposite of settling for a situation that you're not happy with. And I think with good reason you shouldn't be settling, because I see a lot, first of all, I see a lot of major arcana energy here. High Priestess, Hierophant, Moon, Empress, Star, Wheel of Fortune, the Devil. Like, there's a lot of big energy right now. So there's a lot of things that are going on in your life. I see the Moon card, and the Moon card to me tells me that there's something here that you don't quite know yet. It also tells me that you're feeling really intuitive right now with the High Priestess. So whenever I get like the High Priestess and the Moon card in combination of each other, I always feel that whatever sort of you're thinking is like is correct. You're on the hunch. And the High Priestess and the Hierophant are actually kind of counterparts to each other. So you might be in a situation where your partner actually is also feeling really intuitive. And with the Moon card, I feel like there's something here that one of you is keeping from each other, and you're both sort of dancing around it. Like, hey, did you do that thing? And they know exactly what you're talking about, but they're like, what thing? Do you mean this thing? The thing that you were supposed to do? And then you have to sort of bounce back. It's like, no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this. It's like, oh, I thought we were talking about that. And it's sort of that kind of like mind gamesy energy, I feel. Because to me, if I had seen the High Priestess and the Hierophant with like the Sun, for example, that would to me equal more of a harmonization between you two. But there's obviously something here that's a secret. And with the other cards, you can usually tell if it's like sort of benign, or if it's something like if they're embarrassed to say. But I feel like with the Six of Swords and with the Eight of Swords, they're sort of, it's not necessarily something that's like very neutral. I do think that it might indeed be something that could hurt your feelings, and that's why it hasn't been said so far. But the Six of Swords to me always, it's the card about leaving a situation and going into a better one. So that could mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. If you are at a point where you need to walk away from your relationship, or a situationship or whatever, you are involved with someone, I think you're more than capable of doing that, because I see the Empress, I see the Queen of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, the Ten of Pentacles, the Star. Like, all those are positive cards, and I feel like that's your energy right now. You're definitely in your Empress energy, and the Empress is usually a very earthy woman. She's the card of Taurus. No, I'm getting that wrong. She is the card of Venus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. So is Libra. But like, that sort of earthy, Mother Nature-y feeling is what I'm trying to describe, and I feel like that's how you're feeling right now. Maybe you are like caring for plants or are out in nature a lot. I feel like that would help you right now. I feel like if you were to go out and maybe take a walk in the park or a forest or something of that nature, it would help you sort of collect your thoughts and maybe come to a better sort of decision on this. But like, I don't see you losing at all. I don't see you getting a negative outcome. So I think whatever you do, just like find a solution that you think works best for you and that you think makes you happy. Because with the Eight of Swords, I definitely see that someone here is clouded. Someone here isn't seeing the whole situation and feels trapped, and that might just be because of the moon. It might be because, not giving this information makes them feel trapped. But at the same time, like, whatever that is, it's next to the Star and the Ten of Pentacles. So I'm feeling that whatever, like, the outcome is here, I'm seeing, the Star is the card of wishes coming true. So, to me, I feel like now's a good time to manifest. Now would be a good time for you to sit down and think, like, what do I want out of a relationship? How can I achieve that? That kind of stuff. I feel like if there have been any kind of arguments, now would sort of be the time to go back in and objectively talk about them and be like, hey, so you did XYZ, but this is how I felt. What's your take on it? This and that, and maybe that'll help. Maybe, because I see you as the Hierophant and High Priestess. Those are by no means, like, entry-level positions. The Hierophant and the High Priestess are, like, spiritual leaders. They're at the top of their sort of totem pole. So I definitely feel like you guys might be a good match for at least some of you, but you really do need to sit and talk it out. With the Ten of Coins or the Ten of Pentacles, that to me is my happy wife, happy life card. So I do feel that, like, there's a potential either with this person, or if you're not seeing a person, some new person that's coming in, to have sort of a romantic, happy living arrangement. And I definitely see it with that Queen of Wands, because the Queen of Wands is very passionate, very strong, very fiery, the kind of woman that can handle herself and also lend a hand when needed. And with the Empress and the Queen of Wands, I think that's definitely talking about you right now. I think that you're sort of in a place where you have all your passions down. Like, maybe you just changed your job, so now you're working in a position where you're much more passionate about what you do, and by extension, that'll make you a lot more financially stable in the long run. And I definitely see with this Wheel of Fortune, like, if you've taken a big risk recently, it's definitely going to pay off in the short time, in the shortcomings, because to me, the Wheel of Fortune in the upright always signifies the upswing. So perhaps you were scared or worried, or maybe you were depressed and you've been on sort of that downturn, but now is the upswing time. And the last card I see is the Devil, but I don't get terribly, terribly bad vibes from it. You know, it's right next to the Wheel of Fortune, so that to me makes it feel like it's a little bit less, like, less negative, I should say. And also the fact that you have it right underneath your Six of Swords leads me to believe that you're probably walking away from the situation. Maybe someone here was like addicted to something, or maybe someone here could also be a Capricorn. But something here was like damaging the relationship in some way, shape, or form, and it was probably the moon, the secret that they're keeping from you. And it's probably getting to a point where it's like, yeah, I've been doing XYZ and this isn't sustainable in our relationship anymore, so this is what we're gonna do. Or maybe you take the lead on that and you're like, yeah, this is what we need to do about this in our relationship. Or if you're single now, that could be your ex, for example, especially if you've recently left a relationship. This reading, I feel like, was super positive, especially with the Star card. I feel like the Star card sort of mitigates the negative impact of the moon that it can sometimes have. And with your Empress card, like, people are perceiving you as the Empress, the Queen of Queens. So it was a great reading. I wish you guys the best of luck, and I hope to see you guys next week for your next weekly reading.